Good afternoon. This is LauraJthe.Treetalker. It's Friday, March the 20th, and today I'm speaking to the linden tree, or basswood in America, but it's also called a lime tree, so take your pick. And today I asked it what it wanted to talk about, and it told me paving the way. So I asked it to tell me what it meant by that, and it said, "Your current struggles mirror those of many other countries. As bad actors have learned from each other's successes and failures, you need to do so now. After their attacks failed in the recent past, they learned where they had miscalculated and saw what was needed to make their plans work the next time. They pinpointed weaknesses and addressed them. They found that brute force was not going to be successful. They diversified their efforts and launched a multiple-prong assault that was years in the making. It was exactly like a group of generals planning a campaign, and you'll notice that this time, at least where you are, they were successful. Somebody must have been reading Sun Tzu. But mostly, they learned they could simply deny the patently obvious, construct an alternative story, revise facts, and get away with anything as long as no one ever admits to wrongdoing or lying." "True," I said. "So what now?" It said, "Well, now it's your turn. Your efforts will be successful if you approach your goals as you would a military campaign, and your strategy is becoming clearer as time goes on. You may be hesitant to take this approach because you fear becoming the thing you find contemptible. You don't want to adopt practices that you find distasteful. You don't want to promise something with your fingers crossed behind your back, then when you achieve power, turn around and do the opposite thing. This is a righteous goal, but you mustn't, because you want to maintain higher standards, become immobilized by self-doubt or an excess of compassion for your opponent's misguided ways." And I said, "But we want to be impartial, don't we? Aren't we obligated to work together?" It said, "Fair is one thing, paralysis is another. You need to examine the results of your actions. Are your current efforts designed to change the course of events? Or are you simply crying out that you've been lied to, conned, deceived? It's outrageous. It's unprecedented. It's unconstitutional. They can't do that." Do you think that stating the obvious is going to change anything or further your cause? Or will you make a plan of action? So I said, "Sounds like it's time to grow up. We're not little kids anymore whining, 'It's no fair.'" So then it said, "Sadly and infuriatingly, in the meantime, you will see losses and casualties pile up. But harness those casualties and losses. Talk to the people who have been affected, whose lives have been upended. They will share with you their anger and sense of betrayal by those they believed in and trusted. That energy is what will animate your battle plan. It certainly animated the other guy's plans. You realize the forces that have achieved current ascendancy have gotten as far as they have by swallowing up the passions of earlier generations, exploiting them to further their own goals of power and wealth for themselves. And this is where you differ. You are motivated by the idea of justice, of attaining rights for the people. You are motivated by the spirit of Aquarius and are paving the way into the new age. You can see it in the mists ahead. People of the older generations may not live to see it in full flower, but that won't keep them from engaging, as this future age is what they have waited for and believed in, and what has been motivating them all their lives. But it will be for their children, even their grandchildren, to lead the people away from ignorance, inequality, and weakness towards a time when all people will truly be free of exploitation or enslavement. And this is important. All will understand once and for all that the rest of life on this planet has those same rights." And that's what the linden tree has for us today. Before I show you some pictures of this lovely tree, I'll ask you to please like, subscribe, and share what the trees have to say with any of your friends and family who love nature and want to protect it. So, as you can see over my shoulder, this is one of my drawings from one of my books. And as I said, the tree is known by other names. In here, it's called the American basswood. Or in Europe or England, it's called the linden or lime tree. Now, here are picatures. Okay. This is, I think, a basswood. I'll get this eventually. Okay. There we go. Now this is a row of younger trees. Okay. My sister went to Lindenwood College in, I think, St. Louis, and they had stuff like this. Just a big, they would line these pathways that some building are in. And this is an old one, big old one. And this is one of the these really ancient ones that you find probably in England, but I don't know. I didn't exactly check, which I should have done. And this is an old painting from, looks like, 17th century, something like that. I should know. Okay, and that's a nice old picture. And flowers. And seed pods, and the beginning of flowers and the leaves. And more flowers. And one nice old picture. Oh, in the forest. Okay. So, that's the basswood or linden tree. So, I don't really have anything to say about it. I think what the tree said was pretty self-explanatory. And so, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. And take some time to take a walk, or just spend some time outdoors appreciating the beauty of planet Earth. So I will see you next time, and goodbye.